Katie from Photogearnews. It's Photokina 2016 and I'm here with Rod at Rotolight Sand. And Rod, you're going to explain to us about something of a world's first.
Yes, we are. Yeah, well, thank you very much. So I'm Rod Gammons, Managing Director of Rotolight. And this is the brand new Anova Pro, which we're showing here at Photokina 2016. So this is a really interesting LED light, ideal for portrait photography, studio photography, and also location work. Now, a couple of really unique things about this light. It's very bright for a light of its size, so it can produce up to 6,900 lux at 3 feet, which is roughly twice the equivalent of some of the square equivalents on the market. But it does so extremely efficiently. So whereas those lights might consume 110 watts at full power, we consume 48. So consequently, if you're running on a V-mount battery, which most people tend to do, on a 95 watt hour, which is the largest you can fly with, we're going to get 2.5 hours instead of 45 minutes, which is great on the shoot. Now the light is really easy to adjust, so you've got brightness control on the left, and it is completely flicker-free. And then you've also got color temperature control. Now with a lot of lights nowadays, it's warm or cool. The problem with that for a photographer is that what do you set the white balance to on your camera? And consequently that can affect your skin tone. So what this light allows you to do is to adjust the color, but actually tells you what the Kelvin is on the light, all the way from tungsten, which is like a warm kind of end of the day setting, or daylight, which is typically 5,600 Kelvin. Now when you know this number, what you can do is go into your camera and enter a manual white balance setting, and that allows you to get a very, very accurate skin tone. So you're not having to mess around in post-production in Lightroom or Photoshop trying to correct colors. It's perfect first time. So that saves a lot of time for people. Now, you'll notice the circular shape of the light. It's very unique to us. A lot of lights nowadays tend to be, again, square or rectangular. The problem with some of those is because there might be 400 separate LED elements, if you put your finger in front of it, you sometimes get 400 separate shadows. What a photographer wants to see is a single uniform shadow, and ideally a lovely circular catch light in the eye. With the Rotolight products, what you actually get, and I can just demonstrate on me, is you get that lovely circular catch light in the eye, both from our products here. So this is like a giant catch light, effectively. Now, aside from those basic features in terms of, one of the most powerful, color accurate, and we're getting a leading skin tone accuracy on this, the light has some industry world first features. One of those which is most relevant for photographers is that this is not only a continuous LED light, but it's also the first LED light in the entire world that is high-speed sync flash capable. So it has a standard PC sync input port. What this means is this light can be not only a continuous light if you want to shoot what you see and understand how you're going to work with the light, but when this is in flash mode, and all I do is click both buttons, that will take the light into flash mode. I can adjust the flash duration, so anything from 1/2.5 thousandth of a second up to a 20th of a second. When this is in flash mode, it will flash at 150% of the normal maximum continuous light output. So if you're in a situation as a photographer where you need just a bit more power, then this is a great option. Now, some of the other big advantages with a typical strobe, even some of the most expensive ones, you're going to get a recycle time of maybe a second or 0.8 of a second. So what that means is if you're holding your finger down on the trigger, every other shot in that sequence is not lit because the flash just didn't fire. So if you're doing something like a wedding or something where there's movement, let's say dances or sports, what you'll find is you get blurred photographs, you get black frames, and so it adds to your editing time because you're having to sift through all of those in post-production. With this because it's an LED light, when it is in flash mode, there is absolutely no recycle time, and I mean literally no recycle time. Now with a strobe, when you're doing constant recycles on a fast period of time, you'll often find that each subsequent recycle or flash is a lower power. With this, it's the same power duration every single time, no recycle time. And it's just that because it's a standard PC sync port, you can use anything like a Pocket Wizard or a Photix or a Hernell, and you just plug it in. You put a receiver into the light, and then you put a trigger on your camera's hot shoe, and away you go. That's it. It's that simple. Now, the light also has a couple of other very, very unique features. So if I click both buttons, that takes me into the advanced menu. One of those, which is great for photographers, is we have invented something called true aperture dimming. And in a nutshell, what this does is you can tell the light what ISO have you set your camera to, so let's say 640. What's your exposure, what's your shutter speed, so let's say 100th of a second. And roughly how far is the model from the light, so let's say 3 feet. Now I click the right button and it calculates my f-stop for me. So it's basically doing the metering for me in the light, and it means that I don't have to A, take out my meter, or B, have 3 or 4 bad shots which weren't correctly exposed. I can then dial in the correct f-stop on my camera, or if I want to shoot at a particular f-stop, I can now adjust the light as an f-stop, and it's adjusting the light, and it's a real f-stop, not a relative f-stop, so it's genuinely accurate. The light's entirely British made at Pinewood Film Studios, so home of James Bond and movies like that. You can see with the overall build quality, a lot of lights nowadays tend to be Chinese made, etc. And a lot of people have said to us that they don't like the green with those lights, or if they're going to invest that money, they want to make sure it's going to work in 2 or 3 years' time. This is called the Rotolight Anova Pro. In terms of price point, it's £1,049, which is $1,499, and about 12 to 1,300 euros approximately. That comes as standard with a full set of filters, so you get diffusion filters to soften the light, magenta filters if you want to match to fluorescence or tungstens. It also includes the battery plate. A lot of lights, that's additional. That comes as standard, and the DMX. So the only thing you might want to think about adding as an accessory is the barn doors, which you can see here. We also have a gorgeous flight case if you're doing a lot of location traveling. But if you're in a studio, that's probably not necessary. But otherwise, it's everything you need and ready to go. So yeah, it's a very exciting product. And in fact, just last week, this won the Cynic Lighting Engineering Award. And 2 weeks before that, we won the TVB Europe Award for this as well. So it's a really award-winning technology.
And where can people buy it from?
So you can go onto Rotolight.com and you can enter in your location, and it will give you a list of our dealers, depending on where you are. But it's available for sale all over the world, from America to Germany to Poland. But you can also order it on Rotolight.com.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.